All right, so raise your hand if you did not do the activities I assigned you. You're good, I'll get it, Reed. You didn't do them at all?
I wasn't here last week.
Who didn't get any activities done?
I wasn't here last week.
I did one rep and didn't write it down.
I did one. I forgot about it.
Okay, that's okay. Listen to me right now. Listen. And I'm going to do my best to make this as fun and engaging as possible, but I still want you to get better. Do not come to class next week if you're not going to do my activities. Cool? Because it makes sense, right? When I'm speaking to you, everything I'm saying makes sense. But if you don't practice it on your own, you're not going to grow. Cool? My concern is getting you where you want to go, to be the best person you can be, to get to your goals, whatever it is you're striving for. I'm here to help you with that. And I'm serious about helping you with that. Cool? So the activity I assigned today, 5 days, you don't have to do the weekends. Is that a fair deal? Don't have to do the weekends, but that means you have 5 meditations and activities that I'm going to assign to you that you'll bring back next week. If you don't have 5, do not show up to class.
Wait, this thing?
Not that anymore. You're going to get a new one.
Oh, okay.
Cool?
Okay.
Cool. We're all on the same page? All right. 40 minutes of focus. If you're not writing something down, please put your pencil on the table or your pen. I don't want to hear a bunch of clicking. Okay? And talk about it after. No whispering. Cool? We're good? We're ready? Okay. So are there any major questions from the first speech or doing the activities by yourself? Nobody has any major questions?
I have a question.
Yes. Well, you weren't here.
No, do you have a pencil?
Yes, I can give you a pencil, Ava. All right. Did we like what we learned on the first day?
Yeah.
Okay. We did? Do you think it's actually helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. All right. Eyes and ears. So today's focus is going to be on time. Write time on the top of your paper. We talked about it briefly. What's up, buddy? Hustle. Let's go. Close the door, please. Okay, we talked about it briefly, but we're going to go much more in depth today in understanding time. Chair over here, buddy. Okay. So the first thing to understand about time, girls and boys, all right, where do most people spend their time?
In the house.
Mentally.
In the brain.
Are people here most of the time?
Yeah. No.
Mentally?
No.
I would argue you're always thinking about something that did happen or is going to happen, or
Oh, yeah.
you're never really fully here. Why is that a huge issue?
Then you can't focus.
You may not think as before you do something.
Where's the only place you can grow?
In your mind.
Mindfulness.
Here. Only here exists, right? So the only place you can get better is here. So the more present you are, the more you're going to what?
Learn.
Grow. Right? Because do we have a limited amount of energy, boys and girls?
Yes.
So if we're spending time in the past or the future, it's less energy spent here to get good. Cool? Cause. What's the cause of us not being able to be here? Lack of what?
Attention.
Lack of focus. We're constantly distracted. We're constantly scattered. And I'm going to say that word a lot today, is scattered. That's what our brain is most of the time. All right? Being focused and present is a recollection of what's scattered and bringing your power to here and now and how well you can be intentional in this moment. Cool? Symptoms. If you're not very present, do we get stuck in the past a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, you beat yourself up. Oh, I shanked a serve 3 plays ago. I can't get over it, right? That's your lack of ability to be present, okay? In the future, when we're nervous about something, there's a really big game coming up. Where's our mind if we're nervous? In the future. Do all our problems dissolve if we're here?
Yeah.
All of them. They all come from thinking about what's outside this moment. So you see how it's really powerful if we just learn how to be here now more? Yeah. Yes. Okay? Solution is increasing our ability to focus. As a result, we're going to grow faster because we're here now more. Cool? Cool. Questions? No. All right. The monkey mind. Let's write that down. What's a monkey do in the forest? Has anybody heard this term before? It does.
Bananas?
What does it swing from?
Climbs trees.
Climbs trees, and it swings from what? Branch to branch. Right? What does our mind do? Does it go thought, all over the place? Half the time, are they related?
No.
No, it's just habitually thinking. When we're on autopilot, we do what more?
Think.
We just think mindlessly. Just think. And that prevents us from being where? In the present, right? So say I had all of you stand up and stand in different parts of the room, and you all have a different job, okay? That's an example of what our mind looks like in our brain when we're in different parts of time, okay? We're scattering our energy, all right? If I brought all of you together in one cohesive group to work on one task, okay, is that going to be a lot more effective than everyone doing their own thing in different parts of the room?
Yeah.
Yes. You are very, very powerful if you have the ability to be present, to do what you want to do. Cool? Cool. So, focus and mindfulness. Let's write this down. Mindfulness. What is mindfulness? The big word. I'm about to have a heart attack if we can't define this. This was the whole last speech. What is mindfulness? What's the watcher, person 2? What is it? Okay.
On-purpose awareness.
Boom. Good job looking back at your notes. Okay? It's on-purpose awareness of what's going on in what moment. So it's seeing what's going on inside you and seeing what's going on outside of you, but seeing it clearly, right? Any of you want to go watch Inside Out 2?
No.
Who wants to go watch it? Good. Okay, Carter, have you seen it? What's your favorite part of the movie? You don't know, you haven't seen it, right? Can you understand something if you don't see it?
No.
Okay, if you don't understand it, you can't replicate what you want and you can't stop the things that you don't want. That's what mindfulness does. It allows you to see cause. You can see what's going on. Does that make sense? Okay? So, let's write this down. Focus is the battery pack to mindfulness. What do we think this means? Jack. So, let's think about iPhones, right? The early iPhones, did they have good battery life?
No.
It's terrible. It's an old phone, right? Someone that can be mindful but doesn't have good focus means their mindfulness is a very small battery pack. But if you work on focus and mindfulness at the same time, is our mindfulness going to have more energy and more battery? Yes or no? Yes. Okay? So we have to work on both at once. They go hand in hand. Okay? But what we really need to understand about focus, kids, is something called refocus. Real focus is refocus. Write that down. That's arguably the most important thing you'll learn today, is that's what focus is. Yep. Okay? Does anybody want to guess what I mean by real focus is refocus? And guys, if I'm giving you pens, please give them back because I have none after everyone from last week. Okay? What do you think that means? Real focus is refocus. Okay. Everyone listen up because this is what I meant by this is the most important thing you'll learn today. Okay? Can you fail if you're fully present? If we're looking at it as, the answer is no. If you're looking at it as a relation to being present as a pass or fail mindset, if you're fully here, you can't fail. You can only fail in time. So if we're trying to get good at concentration, right, say someone sits down to meditate for 5 minutes, and I'll explain what that is. Okay, they're focused, they're not focused. They're focused, they're not focused. If we look at it from time's perspective, from start to finish, can you fail? Yes, right? You can be focused, you can not be focused, okay? What refocus means is there's no failing, because when you notice you're lost, you do what? You refocus, you come back. That's the muscle of focus, is coming back to the moment, okay? So if I draw, there's my smart pen. Okay, if I draw what it looks like, this is what focus is, okay? Say this circle represents the moment. Someone who's not good at focusing, they get lost, and do they keep staying lost? Yes, and then they come back. Someone that can focus well, what does it look like? Do they come back really fast? It's not this constant holding, right? You can grow that constant holding, but it doesn't last very long, okay? Does that make sense? So which one puts you in a pass-fail mindset? When you think of it in time or when you think of it just as refocus? When you think of it in time. I want you to focus on the refocus. Does that make sense? Because is there any pressure on yourself? If all you have to do is notice when you're lost and come back? No. There's no pressure. There is? So there's pressure on yourself if you think from start to finish, because then you have to stay present in this 5-minute time period. Does that make sense? We'll keep going. And this is the most complicated thing to talk about is the mind. All right? But this phrase, it doesn't matter how long the room is dark for, what does that represent? If mindfulness is a light switch, Say I'm not mindful, I turn mindfulness on, turn the lights on, right? I can see clearly, okay? What is it? Doesn't matter how long the room is dark for. Does it matter how long you were lost for? Because what's the only thing that's real? Right now. That's all that exists. Anything outside this moment is a thought about another moment. Okay? Is thought the actual experience? No. Does that make sense? So refocus. You can't fail. You notice you're lost, come back to the moment. You notice you're lost, come back to the moment. If you do that over and over and over again, that's what increases concentration. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, the flow state. Let's write that down. Okay. So we just talked about focus. All right? What's focus?
Concentration.
We're going to get to that. Real focus is what? Refocus. Recollecting. I'm recollecting my scattered self into this moment, right? Refocus. That's what focus is. Concentration is how well you hold that focus in time. So concentration, do we have a pass-fail mindset? Eyes and ears. Do we have a pass-fail mindset when we concentrate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Do you need to think about concentration to get better at it?
Yes.
What do you want to focus on? Focus. If we reset more, if we get better at resetting, that automatically triggers concentration to increase. Where a lot of people, they think about this when they try to get better at learning how to focus or pay attention. They think of themselves in, I'm trying to hold it, I can't fail, I can't lose my concentration. That puts pressure on you, you don't feel free, you're not going to improve as fast as you could with your focus ability. Does that make sense? Yeah. So concentration is the holding, focus is the coming back. I just want you to worry about coming back and resetting. Cool? Yes? Now the flow state, this is really important in sports, okay? For volleyball, have you ever had a time in your life when you were serving the ball and you literally couldn't miss? It was every single time it was on point. Okay, that's the flow state. In basketball, you can't miss, right? It seems like every shot you shoot is going in. Have you had that before? That's the flow state. Okay, that's being in the zone. All right, when we're in the zone, do we have a sense of timelessness?
Yes.
There's a sense of timelessness. You don't really know what's going on. Your body's doing it without you having to do anything, right? When we're in the flow state, are you having thoughts?
No.
No. You're emptied of thoughts, right? That's what timelessness is. Thoughts that creep in, that's what's creating the sense of time, okay? So if we're able to get better at focusing, we're going to be able to get into what more? The flow state. If you can get in the flow state more, are you going to grow faster?
Yes.
Yes. Direct correlation to sports. You will play better if you can refocus more and more and more and more. Cool? Yes? All right, eyes and ears. Presence, let's write that down. Okay, so these are just some phrases for presence that have helped me understand the importance of it. Okay? This is a fun stat. We forget 90% of our life. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
90% of it you're going to forget in your entire life. So what really matters at the end of the day? You have to be aware. Here, don't miss it, right? You're going to forget 90% of it. You might as well live it, okay? This moment is eternity. What does that mean? What's eternity? Forever. Is it just a constant movement of now and time? Yes, okay? So it's just remembering. I'm not saying that the experience you had in the past, am I saying that that's not real?
No.
I'm saying the thought of it, you have to remember that's just a thought of what happened. You can only experience in now, you can only grow in now. Cool? This is huge. Write this down. Thoughts and time are connected. Thoughts and time are connected. So remember that flow state? Are we thinking in a flow state? No. Okay. The more we're thinking, that means our brain is more scattered. Okay? It's less in the now. So what happens when we're fully present? Are we going to think less?
Yes.
Most of the time, and I'm not saying thoughts are not important, but I'm just saying they're very overrated. Okay? It's not going to distract us from this moment. So it's an upward spiral. When I become more present, I think less. When I think less, I become more present. And it just keeps feeding itself. So that's how it's the snowball effect of growing in the moment. Make sense? And the watcher is what that timeless perception is. That feeling of timelessness, that's the watcher that we talked about in speech 1. Okay? That's the one I'm trying to help you turn on more and keep the lights turned on. And is that going to lead to better performances consistently? Yes. Cool. There's only one important time. What is it? Now. There's only one important person or people. What is it? Not just you. Whoever's here. Right now, everyone in this room is the most important people in your life because they're the only ones in this moment. Does that make sense? Because is the thought about a person really them? No. But if you take that mindset, what's the only important pursuit? Being here now as your best self. Does that make sense? So now let's get into this. Who are you and what are you defined by? Who you are when? Who you are right now is the only version of you that matters. Who you were 5 minutes ago, does that matter at all? No, because that's just a thought about who you were. Who you're going to be in 10 minutes, does that matter? No, it's a thought about who you're going to be. You're defined by who you are in every single moment. Is that extremely freeing? That's so freeing, because you can be whoever you want to be. You're defined by who you are in this moment. That's essentially what forgiveness is, right? Forgiving yourself for something you've done, right? That's resetting, coming back to here, understanding you're only defined by now. Same concept with other people, right? So you can be whoever you want to be. Just do it right now over and over and over again. Does that make sense? Because it's just a thought. Who you were 10 minutes ago is just a thought about who you are. Cool? So what are we training for? To be the best version of us in what? Now. Write that down. All you're training for is how to be the best you in this moment and repeat it over and over and over again. If that's all you do and that's all you focus on, are you going to grow extremely fast? Incredibly fast. And then that's going to get you the results that you want. Cool? And does that intentional best self make sense? Whatever you think's the best version of you, just try and do that right now. Cool? Yep. Cool. Simulations. Let's write that down. What's a simulation? Virtual reality, is that a simulation? Yeah. Yes. What are thoughts? Simulation. It's a thought about an experience. It's not the actual experience itself. It's very important to understand this, okay? Because simulations are overestimations. Okay? Simulations are overestimations. This means what you think about if you're envisioning an experience. It's going to feel better in the imagination of what you're experiencing than it would in real life. Vice versa, if you think about something that did happen, maybe it was an embarrassing moment, right? The simulation is going to feel worse than it actually did in real life. Okay? So it's never as bad as it seems, and it's never as good as it seems. Why do you think this is so important to understand? Where do people get stuck if we know that simulations are overestimations? The past or the future, right? If you think about, let's say, Delaney, game's on the line, it's 25-24, you have a chance to win the NCAA National Championship with an ace serve, and you do it, right? The vision of that is going to feel better. It'll feel better in your imagination than it would in an actual experience. So is the experience going to be as good as it felt in your imagination?
No.
Yes, exactly. Good job, Paige. Okay? But the reason it's important to understand this is because we can get addicted to wanting outside of now. Everyone write this down. This causes us to want outside of now more. Are all of you extremely blessed? Yeah. Very blessed. Okay? Back then, people didn't used to be as blessed. So they had to wire themselves to look for things outside of the moment to survive. You guys don't need to do that anymore. Okay? Has anybody heard of the chemical dopamine? What is that?
No.
So it's a chemical in your brain that makes you feel pleasure, that makes you feel good when you do something. Okay? Why do you think we need dopamine for something like food?
To make you eat more?
Well, if you didn't feel good after eating, would you eat? No. Would you survive? No. So there's a reason we're wired that way. But we don't have to focus on surviving as much as we used to. So what can we rewire ourselves to do? Want what? Now. You're good. So it's about rewiring that dopamine chemical to what's going on right now. And this leads me into, how are you girls doing back there? Are you okay? Does it make sense? Always raise your hand and ask questions if you have questions, okay? Listen, write this down. You are less likely to work out hard, okay, if you're only getting the dopamine hit for the reward, right? Because if I only feel good after something is over, where was my mind that entire workout? The future. If your mind's in the future during your workout, are you getting as good as you could be getting in that period of time? No, right? So what do we need to rewire ourselves to do? To get the dopamine hit where? Now, in the work that you do, right? I've had a lot of people come up to me with this facility and say, you must be so thrilled and excited, which is great. It's awesome. But I enjoy the work that I do just as much as I enjoy the reward. I actually enjoy the work more, probably, right? I'm here 12 to 14 hours a day, but that's because I love it the entire time. Why do you think I've been able to get results so fast? Because I get the dopamine hit from doing it, right? And so that means I'm here. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to get, so I can grow faster that way. I'm more intentional. I'm more present. I can grow faster. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So do we see how this overestimation of simulations ties into what we want to get ourselves to feel good about? Yes. If we're more present, is that what's going to help us rewire ourselves to get the dopamine from the work? Yeah. Yes. Are we all seeing how this all connects? Are we all on the same page? Cool. All right, dwelling, okay? So like I said, we have a finite amount of energy. If I spend energy in the future or the past, where am I not spending energy? In the present moment. Okay, when we're stuck with things about we did, right? You're thinking about a play, Paige shanked a serve, okay, and she's thinking about that play 5 minutes later, okay? She's holding bags of rocks. This is the analogy you can think of energy, and you're walking through the present, okay? Is this preventing us from feeling free and being the best person we can be now? Yeah. Yes. Is it freeing to know you can let go of anything that's not now? Yeah. Very, because the only moment that's real is what? Now. So dwelling is what creates these blockages of energy to put all your energy into this moment. Cool? Cool beans? Cool. Okay, what are we at for time? Does anybody have time? 26. Are you 11:30? Yeah. Does anybody have anything after this, or is this everyone's last one?
45.
Do you guys have a workout, or does anybody have anything after this? No. You four do? Okay. Last one. 45. Oh, it's still 45? Oh, okay, we're chilling.
Wait, what time is it? Yeah,
sorry. Okay, we're good. I freaked out there for a second. All right, we got 19 minutes. We're good. Okay? All right. So when can we use the past and future then?
never.
Am I saying to never think about the past and future?
No.
I'm not saying that. When can we not think about the past and future? When we're what? You're good. What's up on the board? When we're lost, okay? That's when thinking about the past and future becomes a problem. Because are we mindlessly going from thought to thought about the past and the future? Yes. It's about if you know you're thinking about the past and the future. Because if you know, can you see what's there? No. Yeah, that's what mindfulness is knowing. I know I'm experiencing this thought, right? If I know what I'm experiencing, does that lead to understanding? If you understand something, you can replicate what you want to replicate. If you understand something, you can stop the cause that's preventing you from the things that you want. Does that make sense? So the enemy is being lost in the past or the future. Cool? When we're lost, who's in control? What person? Person one is what? Mindlessness or the dictator, right? The dictator has all the say, you have no say. Cool? What's person one? Dictator. What's person two? Person three? The wise. Wise, right? Those three people. Okay? Intention. What's intention?
Do something on mind is willing, full effort, not thinking.
I've already said that thinking is overrated. The power that you have, if you want to tap into what's truly powerful about you, is intention. How willfully intentional can you be in this moment to do what you want to do? Okay? So if we go back to our controllables, we have the perception, right? Remember when we talked about perception on day one? Remember when we talked about response? Yeah. What's step one of that whole thing? reset. Recollect your energy to right now. Write that down. I'd write these numbers down. Resetting. Okay, is there any failing if you're just focused on real focus, meaning refocus? No. You notice you're lost, come back to now. Once you've noticed that you're lost, take on the watcher perception, see what's going on, separate yourself from what you're experiencing. You good? Okay. And then third is best self response. What does that mean, the best self response? Well, are you trying to be the best person you can be in the response that you're experiencing? Yes. Are we all on the same page, kids? Yes. Now, this is all you can control, essentially. Where should we put all of our power and energy into? Now. Yes, correct. But in terms of controllables, should we put all of our energy into what we can fully control? Yes. Don't spend any energy on things you can partially or control a little bit or not control at all. That is wasted energy. Okay? That's what makes you powerful, that step, process. If you want to wire yourself to be who you want to be. Does that make sense? Are we on the same page? Cool. Cool. All right. We can talk about this a little bit. We're going pretty fast today, actually. Boredom and distraction. Okay? Boredom is a lack of what? Attention. That's what boredom is, right? You're not, if I sit still for 30 minutes and I'm bored, that's lack of what? Energy. Paying attention to what's going on inside you, right? Can you be really curious in understanding what's going on inside you when you go from thought to thought to thought to thought? No. Well, most of you right now aren't that curious, right? Because you think that you're bored or that you have to escape it. Okay, but I'm here to tell you you don't need to do that. I'd actually rather have you be in boredom because that's when your mind's the most active. And can that teach you a lot about yourself? Yes. Okay? The phone. The phone is the biggest problem today with focus. Because when you go on a phone, what do? You got done scrolling on Instagram, what do you go do? Oh, we got to go scroll on Snapchat. We got to go to the next app. So is it literally wiring our brain to scatter itself?
Yes.
The phone is scattering you. Now, when can we use the phone well? When is the phone not the enemy?
Before bed. When you need to call your mom.
What did we just say? Like when you can think about the past, the future. When is it okay to do that?
Never. When you're not. To look at old pictures. When you know.
When you know. Okay? When you know. So if you're on your phone and you know what you're doing, you know you're scrolling through Instagram. You know you're jumping from app to app. Okay, that's going to help you. But if you guys mindlessly keep using the phone, your attention will get worse and worse, and you won't perform as good as you could be. Does everything you do affect what you care about? How you use your attention when you do the dishes, when you do the garbage, when you do things you don't like, affects your attention when you're on the court. Or affects your attention whenever you want to be good at something. Okay? So it does matter how you act and how you use your mind in events that you don't think matter to you. Does that make sense? So just remember that. You're training your attention to be used in some way, shape, or form in everything you do. How do we want to train it? We want to keep coming back to where? Where am I keep coming back to?
Focus.
Yep, refocusing, right? Coming back to the moment. Cool? All right, now meditation. This is where it gets fun. Girls and boys. When we think of meditation, what do we think about? Okay, listen. I'm here to tell you that meditation, all it is a specific type of focus and attention. All right? We're using our attention in specific ways to get better at certain traits mentally. Can I meditate right now?
Yes.
100%. I can meditate on the moment. I'm focused. I am. I'm fully present right now. I'm meditating. I know I just stood up. I know I'm moving my hands. I know the words that I'm speaking. I am meditating. Okay? Yes. Does that make sense? Yeah. So are there different ones that we can do to work on different things? Yes. If I assign you a 5-minute meditation in the morning, does that mean you shouldn't try and do it throughout the day?
No.
Separating the practice is the enemy. Write that down. Separating the practice is the enemy. Most people separate. I meditate in the morning. Oh, I'm good for the rest of the day. I don't got to be present. Right? We're always training for something, whether we like it or not. Okay? So do I encourage you to practice this throughout the day, what I'm about to teach you? 100%. Keep that momentum going. That's why we do meditations in the morning, so it can create momentum for the rest of the day. Cool? So, meditation, all right? The breath. Why do you think the breath is normally always used for meditation? Any guesses?
So you breathe in and out?
What do we always have? Carter, eyes and ears. When I'm talking, eyes and ears, okay? What do we always have when we're alive?
Lungs.
We're breathing, right? Right? We're breathing if we're alive. So it's always there, okay? If you can create the breath as a tool for you to become more present and to become your best self, does that mean you can activate it whenever you want?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that powerful?
Yes.
You don't need anything other than your breath to be who you want to be. That's freedom, right? You're not linked. You're not tethered to something. You don't need something to happen for you to be who you need to be. That's why the breath is powerful, because it's always there. Does that make sense?
So much more sense why people tell you to take a breath.
Yep. It's always there. It's a tool for you to use, okay? I want you to think of the breath as an anchor. What is it anchoring to? To what moment? To now. The breath is an anchor. We all know what an anchor is in fishing.
Yeah.
We let the anchor out of the water, right? It anchors us to where we are. So when we get lost, we come back to what?
The anchor.
The anchor, the breath. Yes, correct. What's the muscle we're building? What's the muscle we're building? The what? We get lost. We're coming back. We're refocusing. Does that make sense? Coming back to the breath. Okay? We're almost there. We're almost there. This is really important because this is what your activity is going to be. Everyone show me a good position for your meditation position.
Okay.
No. Ava wasn't here. Okay, so we're at a 90-degree angle. Am I on the backrest? I'm not on the backrest, so no one should be on the backrest right now. Okay? What are my spine? A stack of what?
Grips.
Quarters. Stack of quarters. Okay, am I in a balance of relax and tension?
No, I'm not really relaxed right now. You're trying to be relaxed.
Did you run out of room? What are you writing? Okay. Let's pay attention. Okay? Once I'm in this position, what we're going to do for our activity, boys and girls, okay? All we're doing is we're cueing our breath with phrases of in and out. So I'm saying in mentally in my brain when I do what?
Breathing.
Inhale. When I exhale, what am I doing? That's all we're doing. So you're focused on the sensation of breathing, okay? And when we get lost, what do?
Come back.
Come back. Is it simple and boring? Do you think that's on purpose?
No.
Yes? Because when we get bored, what do?
Breathe.
That's when we go monkey mind. Thought. Okay? Does that make sense? Eyes and ears, guys. We're almost there. Pay attention. Okay? The second thing to understand about this activity, so when I'm focused on breathing in and out, and that's all I'm focused on, when I get lost, I want you to note what got you lost. Okay? So say we're thinking about dinner. So I'm in and out. I did good. I focused on it for 5 seconds, and I started thinking about dinner. You would just label it hungry mind. Okay? This is called the action of noting. If we're noting something, does that mean we've created separation between the thought and the mindfulness? Yes. So that's what we're trying to do. Do you think I care I care what you call it?
No.
I do not care. What matters is what?
You're doing it.
That you note it.
Oh.
Okay? So an example of different minds that you could note it as: future mind, past mind, distracted mind, judgmental mind, nervous mind. Okay? This is the action of noting. That's what mindfulness is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, do I care how you label the mind?
No.
I care that you do it. So when I get lost, before I come back, I'm going to do what? Note how you got lost, then come back to the breathing. When we do our meditation routine, before you start, you're doing 3 really slow inhales and exhales. After that, you are breathing naturally. You are not trying to control anything. You are just watching. That's what the watcher does. He watches. He's not trying to get in the mix and control something. Okay? Does that make sense? Why do we do the really slow, deep breaths to start? If our body's moving fast, is our mind moving fast? Yes. So slowing the breathing down slows the body down, which slows the mind down. Cool? So we're going to do it for 1 minute, okay? But just if I could visually give you an example. So I'm in this position. I'm softly in my mind saying in, out. There's 3 different places of breath that you can focus on. You have the tip of the nose, the chest, and the belly. Whatever you're naturally drawn to is the one I want you to focus on. Okay, so that's the anchor you come to. You're focused on sensation of the breath. I personally do the tip of the nose, but I want you to do whatever one naturally it goes to when you start today. Does that make sense? So I'm focused on how does it feel right here, in and out. Make sense? When I get lost, I'm doing what? I note, and then I refocus. Cool? Are there any major questions? Do I want you to move? No. If you move mindlessly, who's in control? The dictator. The dictator's in control. If you have to move mindlessly, if you have to scratch yourself without thinking about it, okay, you don't have any control. You're doing that without any power. The dictator is control of you in that moment. So I want you to challenge yourself. If you feel that restlessness, if you feel that ability to move, just watch it. Why can't I sit still for more than a minute? Be curious about it. Everyone does because of the phone. Okay? Again, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, what did you just say, Paige?
ADHD.
ADHD, right? Does focus have anything to do with ADHD?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it does.
Listen, what did I say focus was?
Your control.
Mindfulness.
ADHD has to do with concentration, your ability to hold focus. Focus is just what?
A life skill.
It's just refocus. Okay? I know it's funny, but it's important to understand the difference. Okay? So do we got that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going for 1 minute. You got to wise up because there's no laughing once this 1 minute starts. Or we'll run laps. Okay?
In here.
Okay, so when I say go, you're starting your 3 really slow, deep breaths, and we're going to go for a minute, and then we're going to talk about questions afterwards. Okay? Are we all good? Get in your positions. Yep, so you're not holding your notebook. Your pens and notebook are down. Okay, but then everyone's sitting still. Okay? And we're not going to move. Cool? So when I say go, it's 3 really slow, deep breaths, and then you're doing the in-out. We got it?
Yeah.
On your marks. Get set. Hands on the knees. Relaxed. Go. Freeze. Sorry. We want to close our eyes. Okay, why do we want to close our eyes? Well, when we have our eyes open, is it distracting? There's a lot of things coming in and out? Yes. When you close your eyes, you can go fully in. You can fully see what's going on inside you and thoughts and feelings. Cool? All right, ready? Go. Time. That was pretty good. 50% of you didn't move. That's pretty good. What are our reflections? Was that harder than we thought it would be?
No.
Okay, that's because you moved.
I did?
Yes, you moved a lot. Okay? But,
I could hear you. You were
okay, but that's for 5 minutes every morning. It's 5 minutes, so you still have 4 minutes for me today because you're doing it 5 days throughout the week.
Ooh. I have to write it down every time?
Nap does not count because if you're napping, you're tired, you don't see clearly. You are tired. Okay?
Oh, do we write down every time?
Listen, good question. We are reflecting, so you're just doing a couple sentences on your reflection. Where was my mind? Was it easy? Was it hard? What were the insights about it? You just date how long you did it for, what time you did it, and the reflections. Does that make sense, boys and girls? Did we like what we learned today?
Yes.
What are we bringing to the next class, though? 5.
Do we need 25 of these?
5 of them.
Wait, 5.
Yes. Did anybody do the book? Did anybody get the book? Did we even talk about a book?
5 times a week.
Okay, just focus on the activities for now. We'll eventually get to the book. Cool? We good, boys and girls? Great work.